Ladies and gentlemen, imagine waking up tomorrow and being just a little bit better than you were today. Not a huge change, just 1% better. It sounds small, right? But what if I told you that tiny 1% improvements day after day are the real secret behind every success story you've ever heard? The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't about giant leaps or overnight miracles. It's about the small, consistent steps you take every single day. Stick with me, because by the end of this talk, you'll have the simple, powerful formula to transform your life. 1% at a time. When you hear the idea of improving yourself by just 1% every day, it might sound like no big deal. You might think, 1%? That's so small, does it even matter? The truth is, those small daily improvements are the secret behind massive success stories, and they add up in ways you can't imagine. It's like dropping a single grain of sand every day into a jar. At first, it looks almost empty, but slowly, day by day, that jar fills up until it's overflowing. Your life works the same way. Many people want quick fixes. They want to jump from zero to hero overnight, but life doesn't work like that. Change doesn't happen in a flash. It happens through tiny, consistent actions that build momentum. If you improve just 1% each day, that means you're getting better, smarter, stronger, or more skilled every single day. It might not be obvious at first, but after a week, you've improved by 7%. After a month, you're about 30% better. And after a year, you're more than 600% better than you were on day one. That's the power of small, daily progress. Think about learning a new skill like playing the guitar or speaking a new language. If you practice just a little every day, even 10 or 15 minutes, your fingers will start moving faster, your ears will get better at recognizing notes, and your confidence will grow. But if you try to cram everything into one day or wait for a big chunk of time once a month, progress will be slow, and you might give up out of frustration. The steady 1% daily improvement makes learning easier and more enjoyable because you see yourself getting better bit by bit. The same idea applies to habits and personal growth. You don't have to completely change your life in a day. Instead, start by improving something small, waking up 5 minutes earlier, drinking one more glass of water, reading one page of a book. These might seem tiny, but over time, they shape who you become. Those little actions build habits that support your bigger goals. When you focus on small wins every day, you stay motivated because progress feels achievable. This approach also helps you avoid burnout. When you try to change everything at once, it's easy to get overwhelmed and give up. But improving 1% daily is manageable. It respects your current pace and allows you to build a foundation step by step. You're more likely to keep going because it doesn't feel like a heavy burden. You're just doing a little bit more than yesterday. Another important part of small daily improvements is how they build your confidence. When you see yourself making progress, even small progress, it boosts your belief that you can achieve your goals. This confidence motivates you to keep pushing forward. On the other hand, if you expect massive results overnight and don't see them, it's easy to feel discouraged and quit. The 1% mindset keeps your eyes on steady growth, helping you build momentum and stay positive. This idea has been proven by science too. Studies on habits show that small, consistent changes are the key to lasting transformation. When you make tiny improvements, your brain rewires itself slowly, creating new pathways that support the new behavior. Trying to force big changes all at once often causes stress and resistance, but small steps feel natural and create lasting change. The beautiful thing about 1% improvements is that they can be applied to every part of your life. Whether you want to get healthier, improve your relationships, grow your career, or become more skilled in a hobby, starting with small daily changes makes it possible. You don't have to wait for the right time or the perfect moment. Every day is an opportunity to be better than you were yesterday. Remember, success is not a giant leap. It's a collection of small steps. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just focus on what you can do today to get 1% better. When you do that every day, you build unstoppable momentum that will carry you to your biggest goals. That's the secret. Small improvements, consistently done, lead to extraordinary results. When you decide to improve yourself, one of the biggest traps you can fall into is chasing perfection. You might think that to succeed, you have to do everything perfectly from the start. But the truth is, perfection is not only impossible to reach, it can actually stop you from making any real progress at all. Instead of aiming for perfection, what you should focus on is progress. Progress means moving forward, no matter how small the step, and that mindset will take you much farther than waiting for the perfect moment or trying to be flawless. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. It makes you hesitate, overthink, and even avoid trying because you're afraid of making mistakes or not doing things perfectly. You might spend so much time trying to get everything exactly right that you never actually finish what you started. This fear of failure or imperfection keeps people stuck, watching others move ahead while they stay in the same place. But progress, on the other hand, doesn't require you to be perfect. It simply asks you to keep moving, learning, and growing. Think about any skill you've learned or any goal you've achieved. Nobody starts as an expert. Everyone begins as a beginner, making mistakes and learning as they go. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people focus on getting better step by step rather than trying to be perfect right away. They understand that progress means taking imperfect action consistently. Each attempt, even if it's flawed, brings them closer to where they want to be. Focusing on progress also reduces stress and frustration. When you try to be perfect, you set impossible standards that are hard to meet. This can lead to feelings of disappointment and discouragement when things don't go as planned. But if your goal is simply to improve a little every day, you'll celebrate small wins and keep your motivation alive. Progress creates positive energy and builds momentum because you see yourself moving forward no matter what. Another important point is that progress allows room for learning. Mistakes and failures are part of the process. When you focus on progress, you accept that errors happen and you use them as opportunities to learn and improve. Perfectionists often see mistakes as proof that they're not good enough, but people who focus on progress see mistakes as stepping stones. This mindset shift changes everything. It frees you from fear and helps you keep going even when things get tough. Progress also helps you break down big goals into manageable parts. Sometimes looking at a big goal can feel overwhelming, like climbing a huge mountain. But if you focus on progress, you focus on climbing just one small step at a time. This makes your goal feel reachable and realistic. Every small step forward is a victory that builds confidence and pushes you closer to your best self. It's important to understand that progress isn't always about moving fast or making giant leaps. It's about steady, consistent improvement. Even if you feel like you're moving slowly, that's okay. Slow progress is still progress. What matters is that you keep showing up and putting in the effort. Over time, those small improvements add up and create powerful change. When you focus on progress rather than perfection, you also become kinder to yourself. You stop beating yourself up for mistakes or slow progress. Instead, you develop patience and self-compassion. You understand that growth takes time and that every day is a new chance to do better. This positive attitude not only helps you improve faster, but also makes the journey more enjoyable. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. Nobody is perfect, and expecting perfection from yourself or others only leads to frustration and disappointment. Progress, however, is real and achievable. It's something you can control because it's about your own effort and commitment. By focusing on progress, You empower yourself to keep moving forward and avoid the trap of waiting for perfect conditions that may never come. So, if you want to achieve your best and improve yourself every day, remember this: don't chase perfection, chase progress. Celebrate the small wins. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. Over time, your progress will lead you to incredible places. Places you never thought possible when you were stuck trying to be perfect. When it comes to improving yourself and reaching your goals, many people believe that success comes from intense bursts of effort, working non-stop, pushing hard, and doing everything at full speed. But the truth is, consistency beats intensity every time. It's not about how hard you go once or twice. It's about showing up day after day, doing what you can, and building steady momentum over time. Consistency is the secret ingredient that turns small efforts into big results. Think about it like this: if you want to get fit, would you rather exercise one crazy, exhausting day a month, or do a little bit every single day? That one intense day might leave you sore and tired, and then you might skip the next days because you feel burnt out. But if you do a little bit each day, even just a short walk or some stretching, you create a habit that's sustainable. That habit grows stronger, and over weeks and months, you see real change. The same principle applies to every area of your life. Consistency builds trust with yourself and with others. When you keep your promises to yourself, even in small ways, you develop confidence and discipline. You prove that you're reliable and committed, which motivates you to keep going. On the other hand, if you only put in effort sporadically or when you feel motivated, it's easy to lose momentum and fall back into old habits. Consistency keeps you on track, even on days when you don't feel like it. Another reason consistency is so powerful is that it creates compound effects. Just like money grows in a bank account through compound interest, your daily efforts add up and multiply over time. When you consistently do something positive, your skills improve, your knowledge grows, and your habits strengthen. These small gains build on each other, and before you know it, you're miles ahead of where you started. Intensity might give you a quick rush, but consistency builds lasting progress. It's also important to realize that consistent effort doesn't have to be perfect or intense every day. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes you might only have the energy for a small step. That's okay. What matters is that you do something, even if it's small, instead of nothing at all. Consistency isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up and putting in effort regularly. Over time, those small efforts become habits that carry you forward. Many people get discouraged because they compare their progress to others who seem to be moving faster or doing more. But the truth is, the person who keeps a steady pace will often outlast those who burn out from going too hard. Intensity can lead to quick wins, but it's consistency that creates real, lasting success. The people who reach their goals aren't always the most talented or the fastest. They're the ones who refuse to quit and keep moving forward day after day. Consistency also helps you build resilience. When you face challenges or setbacks, your steady habits and routine become anchors that keep you grounded. You learn to push through difficulties and stay committed to your goals, even when things get tough. This resilience is what separates people who give up from those who achieve greatness. Another benefit of consistency is that it helps reduce overwhelm. Big goals can feel intimidating if you think about everything you have to do all at once. But when you focus on consistent small actions, your goals become manageable and less stressful. Breaking your goals into daily habits makes the journey easier to handle and keeps you motivated. Finally, consistency allows you to track your progress and make adjustments as you go. When you work steadily, you can see what's working and what isn't, and you can find tune your approach. Intense bursts of effort might make it hard to see patterns or measure real progress. But consistent action gives you valuable feedback so you can grow smarter and more effective over time. So, if you want to improve yourself and reach your best, don't focus only on working hard in big bursts. Instead, commit to being consistent. Show up every day, do what you can, and build momentum. Even when motivation is low, keep moving forward. Over time, that steady effort will transform your life in ways that intensity alone never could. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to improve themselves is because they fear making mistakes. They think mistakes mean failure, and failure means they're not good enough. But the truth is, mistakes are not the enemy. They are some of your greatest teachers. If you want to grow and improve yourself by even just 1% every day, you have to learn to embrace mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. That mindset is the secret that separates those who reach their goals from those who give up. Everyone makes mistakes. Even the most successful people you admire have failed many times. What makes them different is how they respond to those mistakes. Instead of letting mistakes stop them, they treat mistakes as valuable lessons. They analyze what went wrong, learn something new, and then adjust their path. This approach helps them grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the future. Mistakes provide feedback. When you make a mistake, it tells you that something isn't working, and that's an opportunity to improve. If you ignore mistakes or pretend they didn't happen, you miss the chance to fix problems and become better. Learning from mistakes helps you avoid repeating the same errors, which is key to steady progress. It's like having a personal coach guiding you every step of the way. One of the most important things to remember is that mistakes don't define your worth or potential. Making a mistake doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're human. It means you're trying, and trying means you're growing. When you stop fearing mistakes, you open the door to taking risks and pushing beyond your comfort zone. Growth happens outside comfort zones, and mistakes are often a natural part of that process. Another reason learning from mistakes is so powerful is that it builds resilience. When you face setbacks and challenges but keep moving forward, you become mentally and emotionally stronger. This resilience makes it easier to handle future obstacles because you've already proven to yourself that you can recover and keep going. Every mistake you overcome adds to your strength and confidence. It's also important to be patient with yourself during this process. Learning from mistakes isn't always easy or fast. Sometimes you have to try many times before you get it right. That's okay. The key is not to get discouraged or give up. Celebrate the courage it takes to keep going, and remember that every attempt brings you closer to your goal. One way to make sure you learn from your mistakes is to reflect regularly. Take time to think about what happened, what you could do differently, and what you learned. Writing down your thoughts or talking to someone you trust can help you gain clarity and insight. Reflection turns mistakes into valuable knowledge that fuels your progress. Learning from mistakes also encourages creativity and problem solving. When something doesn't work, you're forced to think differently, try new strategies, and come up with better ideas. This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities and keeps your journey exciting and rewarding. Another important point is that mistakes are not just about what you do wrong, but also about what you don't do. Sometimes inaction or fear of failure keeps people stuck. Remember, not trying is the biggest mistake of all because it stops you from growing. Taking action, even if it leads to mistakes, is better than standing still. Every step you take, even if imperfect, moves you forward. When you accept mistakes as part of the process and keep moving, you create a powerful cycle of learning and growth. You make small improvements every day, get better at what you do, and become more confident in your abilities. This cycle turns into unstoppable momentum that leads to your best self. In the end, improving yourself 1% every day means accepting that mistakes will happen, but they don't have to stop you. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. That's how progress happens, and that's how success is built. Don't fear mistakes. Use them as stepping stones on your journey to greatness. One of the most important steps to improving yourself by just 1% every day is setting clear and simple goals. Without goals, it's easy to feel lost, confused, or overwhelmed. You might work hard every day but not see the results you want because your efforts are scattered or unclear. Clear goals give you direction and purpose. They help you focus your energy on what really matters and make it easier to measure your progress. When your goals are simple and specific, they become much easier to achieve. Instead of saying, "I want to get better," a clear goal would be, "I want to read one book each month," or "I want to walk 20 minutes every day." Simple goals break big dreams into manageable pieces. This makes your path less intimidating and helps you stay motivated because you can see yourself moving forward step by step. Having clear goals also helps you avoid distractions. When you know exactly what you want, you can say no to things that don't support your goal. It's easy to get sidetracked by social media, unnecessary tasks, or negative influences, but clear goals give you a reason to stay focused. They act like a filter, helping you spend your time and energy on what will bring you closer to your best self. Clear goals also help you plan better. Once you know what you want to achieve, you can create a simple plan with daily or weekly actions. This breaks the goal into small habits that you can work on every day. For example, if your goal is to learn a new skill, your daily action might be practicing for 10 minutes. When you do this consistently, those small steps add up and lead to big improvements. Another important reason to set clear and simple goals is that they keep you accountable. When you write down your goals and make them visible, you remind yourself what you're working toward. This creates a sense of responsibility and commitment. You're more likely to follow through when you have a clear target in mind. You can also share your goals with a friend or mentor who can encourage you and help keep you on track. Simple goals also reduce stress and overwhelm. Big goals can feel heavy and hard to handle all at once. But when you break them into clear, simple steps, they become manageable. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just focus on doing one small thing today, one small thing tomorrow, and so on. This keeps your motivation high and your mind calm. It's important to keep your goals flexible too. Sometimes life throws challenges your way, and you might need to adjust your goals. That's okay. Clear goals aren't about being rigid. They're about giving you direction while allowing you to adapt. If a goal feels too big or too hard, break it down even more or give yourself more time. The key is to keep moving forward in a way that feels doable. When your goals are clear and simple, you also build confidence as you achieve each step. Every time you complete a small goal, you prove to yourself that you can do it. This boosts your belief in your ability to improve, and that belief is crucial for long-term success. Confidence makes it easier to tackle bigger challenges because you know you have what it takes to succeed. Another benefit of clear goals is that they help you celebrate your progress. When you know what you're aiming for, you can recognize your wins along the way. Celebrating small victories keeps you motivated and makes the journey enjoyable. It reminds you that improving yourself is a process and every step forward is worth appreciating. Setting clear and simple goals also helps you focus on what truly matters. Life is full of choices, and not everything deserves your attention. When you have a clear goal, you learn to prioritize what will bring the best results. This focus prevents burnout and helps you use your energy wisely. In the end, improving yourself by 1% every day starts with knowing exactly where you want to go. Clear and simple goals give you that clarity. They guide your actions, keep you motivated, and make your progress visible. When you set clear goals, you turn your dreams into achievable steps, and those steps lead you to your best self. So, take the time to set clear and simple goals today. Write them down, make them visible, break them into daily habits, and watch how these small, focused actions lead you to big changes over time. When you're working to improve yourself by just 1% every day, it's easy to focus so much on the big picture that you forget to notice the small victories along the way. But those small wins are actually the fuel that keeps your motivation alive. Celebrating these little successes isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's a powerful strategy that helps you stay committed, build confidence, and keep pushing forward even when the journey gets tough. Improvement is a gradual process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's often made up of many tiny steps rather than huge leaps. If you ignore those small achievements, you risk feeling like you're not making progress at all, which can lead to frustration and giving up. But when you take time to recognize and celebrate each step forward, you remind yourself that your efforts matter and that progress is happening, even if it's slow. Celebrating small wins works like a positive feedback loop. When you acknowledge an achievement, no matter how small, your brain releases good chemicals like dopamine. This creates a sense of satisfaction and pleasure, which motivates you to keep doing the behaviors that led to that success. It's your brain's way of rewarding you, encouraging you to continue improving. Another reason small wins are so important is that they help build momentum. Imagine rolling a heavy ball up a hill. At first, it takes a lot of effort to get it moving, but once it starts rolling, it becomes easier to keep going. Small wins work the same way. Each one builds your confidence and energy, making the next step feel easier. Before you know it, you're moving steadily toward your bigger goals with less struggle. Celebrating small wins also helps you maintain a positive mindset. When you focus on what you've accomplished rather than what's left to do, you create a feeling of gratitude and satisfaction. This positive attitude can reduce stress and anxiety, making it easier to stay committed and keep a clear focus on your path. A positive mindset attracts more positive results. It's important to understand that celebrating small wins doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. It can be as simple as giving yourself a mental high five, sharing your success with a friend, or taking a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Some people like to keep a journal where they write down daily or weekly wins. Others might reward themselves with a small treat or a break doing something they enjoy. Whatever feels meaningful to you works. When you celebrate small wins, you also reinforce good habits. Recognizing your progress helps you see the value of the actions you're taking, which makes it easier to keep doing them. For example, if your goal is to exercise daily and you celebrate completing your workouts for a week, you're more likely to stick with it because you've connected your effort with positive feelings. Small wins are especially crucial when you face challenges or setbacks. In tough times, it's easy to get discouraged and focus only on what's going wrong. But if you make a habit of celebrating even minor successes, you create a source of strength and encouragement to keep going. These wins remind you that you're capable and making progress, even if it's not perfect. Another benefit of celebrating small wins is that it helps you track your progress over time. When you look back at the collection of your small victories, you get a clear picture of how much you've grown. This overview can be incredibly motivating because it shows that your consistent effort is paying off and that your goals are within reach. Celebration also builds resilience. It trains your mind to focus on positive outcomes and achievements rather than failures or obstacles. This shift in focus makes you more optimistic and persistent. When you believe in your ability to succeed, you're more likely to overcome difficulties and keep moving forward. Finally, celebrating small wins helps you enjoy the journey. Improvement and growth aren't just about reaching a destination. They're about becoming the kind of person who takes action, learns, and grows every day. Taking time to celebrate your progress makes the process more enjoyable and rewarding, which increases the chances that you'll stick with it for the long haul. So, as you work on improving yourself 1% every day, make it a habit to celebrate your small wins. Recognize your effort, appreciate your progress, and reward yourself in ways that feel meaningful. These small moments of celebration will keep your motivation strong, build your confidence, and turn your journey of growth into a fulfilling and exciting adventure.